What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Now today, we are going to be doing kind of like a brand new series on the channel. Now I don't know how often I want to get these uploaded, but I want to try and get these done as soon as I possibly can for you guys. And this is kind of like a beginner's guide for people who are just getting into the game, because I know with the Roger and Oden Sugo Fest, many people are getting into One Piece Treasure Cruise, which I love to see, but you know, the problem with Treasure Cruise is that there is a little bit of a hurdle that you have to get over before you start getting into the swing of things. This is not an easy game to play. This is not like any other gacha that you may have played before. It is relatively complex. There's lots of gimmicks. There's lots of things you need to know about when you're heading into this game. So this series is hopefully going to give you guys enough knowledge to get you guys up and running and get you playing One Piece Treasure Cruise. Now I did upload a video not that long ago. There should be a card at the top of the video talking about what are the best characters to reroll for. Obviously right now, if we go to the Tavern, this is a rerolled account, by the way. It's not a great account, but I'm just using it to show an example. There is the obvious massive Sugo Fest here with Goldie Roger, so make sure you go check out the reroll video to see what characters you should be rerolling for, okay? So I guess what I'm doing in today's video, this is just a raw video to talk about just navigating the menus of the game, because there's lots of different buttons to press and a lot of people may be a little bit confused as to what's going on here, okay? So let's get things started here. So first things first, this is the home screen. You're going to be seeing this as soon as you log into the game. Now the home screen that you see down the bottom here, this is your current active team, and you know, this is going to change actually with the newest update that's going to be arriving to global very soon, where you can actually set what characters you want on your home screen. But let's start from the very top and work our way down. So this is your berries at the top corner. You can see where my cursor is on the screen. The berries is the currency in the game that is used for feeding items or characters into other characters. You need berries to do that. You also need berries for limit breaking characters. It does actually get quite expensive to do all that kind of stuff. So berries, you know, you're gonna make sure you're keeping an eye on it, because you know, it's gonna be difficult, especially when you first start, to get enough berries to get on your way. Down below that is your EXP meter. So this is how much EXP you need to get to the next level. If you actually tap and hold on the top, it actually tells you to next level. I need 6 EXP to get to the next level. You've got your name of your account and then your pirate level, so just your account level, your rainbow gems in the top right, and then your stamina bar. Working our way down here, we have the Chopperman requests. So by clearing these missions, you get rewards. So there's daily missions, and then there's special missions, which are limited time, depending on what content is out at the time. And then there's also the rookie missions. Now the rookie missions, these are, I think, if you're just starting an account, these rookie missions are quite difficult to complete. But once you do get to that point where you do complete them, you get 50 rainbow gems for doing so. I think there's actually missions to get these free-to-play size straw hats, and these free-to-play straw hats are actually really, really good. So once you get the opportunity to max those characters out, and you have all those size straw hat characters, they're really powerful for clearing content. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But yeah, you got to complete these missions. As you complete them, more of them will be unlocked, and once you complete 100% of them, you get your 50 rainbow gems, which is pretty good. On the other side, we have the friends list. So you can check out your friends list. You can go to your mail to like see which friends have sent you a request. You can check the friend ranking, which is not something you really need to worry about right now, but there is like a ranking mission that comes out every now and again. And then also you can click the find friends button, which will show you the ID. Don't worry about adding this account, because I'm going to delete this account as soon as I'm done with this video. But you know, obviously it shows your ID, and then you can go here and type an ID of whatever ID you want to locate other people. Obviously pretty straightforward, you know, nothing really too complex right now. Now below the friends button is the mail. So this is where you're going to be picking up all of your juicy rewards. I haven't done this one yet, the 10 free tries at Rare Recruit. But you can click this button at the top here to see if anyone sent you a friend request, so you can accept them from there. So again, pretty straightforward. And then below the mail is the notice board. This is also something you want to be checking quite often. This shows you any information regarding recent events. And this will be updated, you know, at least, you know, once or twice a week. There's going to be new stuff in here, so make sure to keep looking at it. And obviously when you start an account, this is going to be here. Do not worry about this Head Start Sugo Fest. It is not good. Make sure to only be pulling on the Roger and Oden Sugo Fest. That's the only one you should be focusing in on right now, especially if you are a new player. Make sure to keep an eye on that. Okay, so with all that being said, down below you see this Win Pirate Rumble to unlock. This is the Gather Island. You'll be getting lots of resources from this, but you don't have to worry about it for now, because you only unlock the Pirate Rumble once you reach a certain pirate level. Do not worry about that right now. And then obviously, as I mentioned, this is your active current team right now on the bottom. So that's all the home screen. The home screen, it's pretty straightforward stuff, just your generic stuff you need to worry about. Now, let's go from left to right, the adventure button. So this is where all of the content is in the game. So you've got the main story, so let's go ahead and check out the main story. On this is, again, this is just the main story of One Piece, really. And down below here, just above where your team is, you can see that there's this blue log pose. When you click that, it actually shows you all the different story missions you can go ahead and take on. Now, with recent updates on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, you don't actually have to go through the story in order. You can go to any of these islands that you want. And the really cool thing about that is that certain islands give you better rewards. I mean, at the start, you get very basic stuff. You know, you get Story Mode Zoro, you get his Super Evolution Skull, all pretty straightforward. But then you'll see, like, if we go to Alubana, you actually get 10 gems for clearing this one. And then if we move a little bit forward, we got one of the Skypiea ones. You also get 10 gems for this one. Do you get 10 gems after this? No. Okay, you get Frankie and a brand new Sunny after that. One of these other ones are worth 10 gems. Is it Marineford? Yeah, there you go. Marineford gives you 10 gems as well. And I think at the end of Dressrosa, yeah, end of Dressrosa also gives you 10 gems. Now, story mode is actually pretty easy. You don't really need to worry about it too much, but just know that it is pretty easy. Now, something that you might have seen here is the transponder snail. Every day at 4 a.m. PST, these transponder snails are going to arrive. There's 5 of them to locate, and they can be on the story mode islands, or they can be on the event islands, which we'll talk about in a minute. And essentially, you just get 5 free items per day, and it can range from turtles, coal, as you can see here, you can get berries, you can get stamina refills from these, and extremely rare cases, you can actually get rainbow gems from them as well. But it's very, very rare. Like, I'm talking, like, I've played this game since it came out in 2015, and I've only ever gotten it once from transponder snails. It is very, very rare. So there's another one here. I mean, we could try it. But as you guys just saw, we've actually changed up now. This is the event island. This is where, again, you're going to be spending a lot of your time in this game. The event island, at this current point in time, you can see that we're only level 3, so there's not really going to be much content here to play. But the event island, you can see, you know, you have to be at level 50, and then the challenge quests, which are the hardest content in the game, unlock at level 150. But leveling up your pirate level is actually not that hard. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you see that there's different quests you can clear. You can see if there's a little gem icon in the top corner of a quest, it means you're guaranteed to get 1 rainbow gem if you clear it. But again, there are Chopper Man missions that relate to certain quests, which will give you more gems if you clear it. There's this one here, make sure to clear this, very easy quest. This is also a relatively easy quest. And then the power-up screen, this is where you'll get characters or items to power up your characters. These quests here just give you like random characters that are, I guess, okay. So you can see whichever ones you want. There's a lot of them to do, so I don't know which ones are super duper worth it, but when you clear the rookie missions will actually say you need to clear certain quests that are in here, and it'll give you, you know, a little bit of an indication as to which ones you need to do. There's manual quests to get certain skill books to level up the special characters, the specials of characters, which we'll talk about later on in different variations of this series. Then there's this one, which is the Evolver quests. So these islands here give you evolution materials for evolving your characters, quite obviously. So there's yellow stuff, there is the black stuff, which is just purple stuff. It's green, blue, and red, so those are all the penguins. You've got ones for lobsters and for crabs. You've got one for dragons. You have got one for seahorses. Those are all very, very key materials you need to evolve your characters. And then next to that is your booster quests. So there's different turtle quests here. These are very easy to complete. They give you a lot of EXP, and they also will give you a lot of turtles, and these turtles are boosting items. You feed these turtles to your characters to level up their levels, and you want to make sure that when you're leveling up your characters that you feed them the same color of turtle, that the same color of the character. So, like, for example, Goldie Roger is a Psy unit who is a yellow unit. You ideally want to farm the yellow turtle rush to give him yellow turtles to get him up to a higher level. That's what you should be doing. So pretty straightforward, especially if you played other gacha games. The Golden Cave is another place as well that you can go ahead and farm up berries to enable you to level up your characters or to limit break and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. So again, there's not really too much to really talk about here at the moment, but the event quest, once that opens at level 50, there's a lot of really good free-to-play characters in there that cycle through every single day. Make sure to keep a lookout for that, because all the really good free-to-play characters are in there. And in the challenge quest is where you'll get to the Colosseum. Colosseum have some really good free-to-play characters as well, but it is very, very difficult. So that's the adventure quest, main story, and the event. Now, as for these other 3, these are other different game modes that are going to be active throughout the months of the game. So you've got Treasure Map. Now, Treasure Map, I'll have a card at the top of the video. You guys can go ahead and check it out in terms of just how the gameplay works for Treasure Map. I actually haven't made a video on like how to do a treasure map, because treasure maps, it's hard to like make a video specifically on like how does treasure map work. It's a lot easier to understand how the treasure map work if you just see gameplay of it. So I'll leave a card at the top of the video. Hopefully you guys would have seen that. Same thing for the Kizuna Clash. However, I do actually have a how to do a Kizuna Clash video. Again, I'll leave a card at the top of the video so you guys can be located over to that once, obviously, you're able to unlock it. But Kizuna Clash, it's another really great opportunity to get some really great rewards from that. And then Pirate Rumble as well. I have made a video on how this works. Again, I'll leave a card at the top of the video as to how Pirate Rumble works. If you guys want to see specifically how those game modes work, go check those cards, of course. But these are game modes that if you're a brand new player, you shouldn't be worrying about these too much right now, as they are more geared towards people that already have their accounts semi-established so they can get the ball rolling, you know what I mean? I'd say, you know, you gotta be leveling up your characters first, get some more free-to-play units, and then you can start focusing on Treasure Map, Kizuna Clash, Pirate Rumble, etc. Okay, so that's the adventure quest. Now, we've got the crew menu here, so there's lots of things to look at here. So we've got the edit crew button, which is pretty self-explanatory. How do you edit a crew? So this is the crew that I've set up right now, but let's just start from scratch. This is what you're going to see. If you just click one of these icons, it will give you a little bit of an indication as to like which characters you can put in. So you could just, let's say, put Wipe It and Market. We'll just put them on the team. And this is your captain. The captain is very, very important, but I'm going to be making a separate video about team building. I have made a video in the past about how to team build in One Piece Treasure Cruise, so I'll leave a card to that as well, so check that out. It may be a little bit complex for newer players, but just know that I will be making a separate video again in this series. But yeah, this is how to do team building here. You want your captain to have a really good captain effect. The captain effect is actually listed here. You can click the details to see what they do. And then if you want to add your crew members, you can just click one of these little icons, and then let's say we'll put in Blackbeard, for example, and there you go. Now, these little chained icons on the side are your support characters. You don't need to worry about that right now. I'll talk about that as well in the team building side of things. Support effects are becoming more and more prevalent in the game right now, but as of right now, if you're a new player, you don't need to worry about that. So that's how you do it. Now, there is the ability to add a ship onto your crew, but the thing is when you first click this button, it gives you this little tutorial how it works. So cola is a currency in this game that you use to level up your ships, which is very, very important because you want to make sure that all of your ships are leveled up to the maximum possible level, and by doing so, they get really amazing effects. And honestly, it comes down to it, in certain pieces of content, if your ship is not the right ship, then you will not win that content. The ship is very, very important in team building. So that's something to take into consideration here. Now, the base ship that they give you is really bad. I wouldn't be using cola on this ship. You want to be using it on the Merry Go, which I think you get after Syrup Village. You get given the Merry Go. The Merry Go is actually a really, really good ship. And then after you beat Annie's Lobby, you do get the Thousand Sunny, which is also not a bad ship. And then there's also unlockable ships, which cost rainbow gems on Extra Island, which, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. If you're free to play, don't need to worry about that for now. You should really be focusing on establishing your account first. But that's how you edit your team. We've got the sell screen, so you can go ahead and start selling some characters if you want, though I really wouldn't suggest going here to sell characters like this. Like, you don't really need to do that. I mean, these characters here, like these ones from the story mode quest that are like 1-star or 2-star units, yeah, you can definitely sell those units. But these ones that you get from Rare Recruit that are like 4 stars, 5 stars, 6 stars, you don't sell them through this screen. You do not want to do that, so making sure you guys know that. We've got the power-up screen, pretty self-explanatory. This is where you power up your characters, so let's click on Blackbeard. And you can see when you click on a character to power them up, there's lots of things here. All I gotta say is it doesn't really matter which one you click, they all basically do the same thing, because, I mean, we'll go for an example here, level up. So we want to feed EXP to this character. Do we even have any EXP to feed? Okay, we've got like these meats, right? We don't want to feed anything right now, but let's say if we wanted to feed tablets instead, you can still do that from this screen. You can still feed forbidden tomes from this screen. You can still feed characters from this screen. All this really does is it means that whatever one you click, that specific thing is going to go to the top of your screen. So you can see forbidden tomes, we clicked unlock powers, these are going to go to the top. I'm going to talk about unlock powers in another iteration of this video. But just note that this is how you give your character EXP, or you give them skill books, or you give them cotton candy, or you give them forbidden tomes, rumble scrolls, whatever. This is how you do it through this screen. You can actually just click the super evolve and evolve button straight away from this screen as well, which makes it a lot easier. And obviously this guy evolves into super type Blackbeard, which is really, really cool. So that's the power up screen right there. Pretty cool. Next we have the evolve and super evolve screen. Again, you can do that from whatever screen you want, but you can just click on a character and then you see these are the materials that you need. Now, if you don't have the right materials, as you see, we don't have these materials yet, you can click the obtain button and it tells you where to get them from, which is pretty cool. You can get it from Friend Point Recruit, you can get it from the Rayleigh's Bazaar, or you can just go into the challenge button on the Scissors Cavern, and it will automatically take you to the right quest in order to farm this event. So obviously we want the yellow stuff, you can farm the yellow stuff from there. So it's pretty cool, it's pretty intuitive the way that it works. The character box is where you'll be spending a lot of time as well. You'll be just going through it and having a look at what you got in your character box. Pretty straightforward. There's actually like lots of filters in here as well. Most of the time you'll just be sorted by favorite. So any character that you favorite, so you see it's got a star in the corner. If we go to just a random character, you can click the favorite button. Now this means that if you go to the sell screen, it means that if a character is favorited, you cannot sell them because they are favorited. So that's one thing you want to do. Any character you get that is very valuable, or you want to be favoriting a majority of the stuff in your box. Like this stuff here, you can favorite just in case if you like sell it, but like basically any new character you get, you want to favorite just in case, making sure you don't sell it accidentally. It's very, very important that you do that. Something else to note in the character box that is not really important for new players, but is going to help you a lot in the future, is if you go to this filter button at the top here. So you can see that you can filter by characters by a lot of different things. Like if you want to find an int unit that is a driven unit that also has a special ability that can have a special that boosts attack, you can click OK, and it filters any int driven character that boosts your attack. Now this is not a perfect way to find characters like that. There's obviously other resources in the community that you can use, but just showing you that there's lots of really cool things you can do with the character box. It's really, really well designed in my opinion. Then you got the limit break. Now limit break is also a really important feature, but it's not going to be important for new players, because in order to get the materials required to limit break your characters, you have to play treasure map, which is one of those game modes that you only unlock once you reach a certain pirate level. And also treasure map is not always active, so getting materials is quite difficult. You need these potions, sometimes you need these keys, and then these colored materials are what you need to limit break your characters. And some characters have specific materials that are only used on that character, which you can only get through very specific means. So again, it's really difficult to talk about limit break right now if you're a new player, but just note that limit breaking is very, very important. The shipyard is what we talked about earlier in terms of your ships. There'll be a lot of ships on this little scroll wheel here, and you can just filter through them, upgrade them if you have the right cola for them. Pretty straightforward. And then there's the Rayleigh's Bazaar. Now, the Rayleigh's Bazaar is a feature where you can get lots of really cool items from this. I mean, look, if we just go to the item section, there's legend tickets, and there's going to be a lot of loading here. There's legend tickets, there's evolution units, there's like turtles, you can get forbidden tomes, cotton candy, almighty manuals. Sometimes really rare characters are here that you can purchase. Rumble scrolls, as you can see. There's I think ships, or some certain ships are available in here to purchase as well. But in order to purchase them, you need very, very specific currency, which is called down here the current training points, or the training points is what they're called. Now, how do you actually get training points to purchase some of these items in this list here? Well, in order to do that, if we go back and we click on training points, you actually will feed characters or items into this listing here in order to get some. So let's say, okay, who's a really bad character that you're basically never going to use? I mean, story mode Zora isn't really that great, so you can see when we clicked him, we get 10 points because of that. And then there's obviously this base unit. You don't even get any points for him. But like a legend, for example, if you decided to feed a legend to the Rayleigh's Bazaar, they're worth 5,000 points. Do not, under any circumstance, feed a legend to the Rayleigh's Bazaar unless if he is completely max limit broken and completely rainbowed. You may not understand what that means right now, but just know, do not feed Sugo Fest exclusives or 6 stars red poster characters to the Rayleigh's Bazaar. Do not do that. Dupe rare recruits, potentially, like in this point here, because it is early game, you could still potentially feed some of these if you really want to, but I don't really suggest it. But let's say if we did want to do that, we can go ahead and feed these. We get 310 points. And that's how you get these points to then spend in this shop in order to purchase really cool items, characters, ships, cotton candy, etc. So that's everything from the crew menu. So this one was a little bit annoying to go through, but just know you're going to spend a lot of time here in the game. Then we've got the tavern. Now everyone knows what the tavern's all about. It's always glowing red. The Sugo Fest is always here. But let's actually break this down. So let's just go over to this banner right here, okay? So first of all, there's the drop rates. If you click this button, it shows you the rates for each individual character on that Sugo Fest. That's also really well to know. Then there's also the step details, this little button on the right-hand side. It shows you what step you're up to and what you can get from certain steps. There is the event information, which gives you details about what the Sugo Fest banner is all about. Make sure to read this if you need a little bit more clarification. There's the recommended characters button, which just shows you which characters are like rate boosted on the banner. Typically characters that are on this scroll wheel here are like boosted units on the banner, so basically all the new batch characters. The metal exchange is also really cool as well. You see we have 44 currently right now. Every single multi-pull that you do, whether it be a free multi or one that you use with rainbow gems, will give you a Sugo medal. These medals you can use to exchange for other Sugo Fest exclusive characters. So these characters are all here. By the way, if you do get enough to get this Rayleigh and you don't have him, make sure to get this Rayleigh. He's very, very good. And then there's the shop as well. Obviously, purchase rainbow gems. There's the expand character box. Now, I do have to talk about this. Now, the character box is a very, very important thing here. With the amount of pulls and the amount of free-to-play characters that are in this game, you want to expand your box space. Now, one rainbow gem gives you 5 box space, right? I would suggest to expand your box space once or twice a week if you're going to be continuously playing. Remember, when you log in every single day, as long as you're doing daily stuff, you're going to be getting like, what, 2, 3, maybe 4 rainbow gems a day, depending on what happens. So I would still, use 1 to 2 rainbow gems a week at a minimum to expand your box space, get it to a decent point. Even if you've got like heaps of box space, I would still start doing it, because as you continuously play this game, your box space is going to deplete and you're going to wish you had more. So I would say I think it's a really, really wise decision to invest some gems into some box space. So I really wanted to get that out there because it's very, very important. And then obviously you can go from side to side to see what banners are available. But as I said, you mainly want to be focusing in currently on Roger and Odin's Sugo Fest banner. And that's basically all that really needs to be said here about the Sugo Fest or the Tavern Screen. Now we've got the menu. So the menu thing is just all the miscellaneous stuff. So you can change your name of your account if you want. So let's go ahead and change this to like, let's just call it like Toadskii Tutorial. Does that even, that should fit, right? Yeah, there you go, done. You can change your title. So these titles you get by playing the game, there's going to be like, there's only a limited amount when you start, but when you play the game, you'll actually unlock more, which is pretty cool. That's not really too important though. Promising rookie, of course. Always promising rookie. Now, below that, you've got the help screen. So if you need clarification on some things, there is some information here. Options, download settings. Like, again, it's pretty basic stuff. You don't really need to worry about all this stuff too much. But there is something that we do need to note, is the changing of device. Change device is very important. Once you've re-rolled an account, and you're really happy with it, and you like your account and everything, the one thing you need to do is go to this section, change device, and click change device with SNS. And then what you want to do is back it up. So you can back up your account through Facebook or Twitter. So what you do is once you click Facebook or Twitter, it will ask you to log into your Facebook account or your Twitter account. And what happens is it links your Treasure Cruise account with your social media account, which means that anytime you want to transfer your data to like a new device or somewhere else, all you need to do is when you're on the, we can actually show you guys real quick. So if we're on the main screen of the game, if you've just downloaded it for the first time on a new device, you can click this green button at the very top here, and this will allow you to change your account into a different device. So you can click, once again, change device, and then change device with SNS, and instead of backing up, which you've done on your old device, you can click transfer data, log in with Facebook or Twitter, and it transfers the data from your social media, which was linked with the old account, to your new device. So that's like the most important thing to do. Make sure you do that. Very, very important that you do that. Otherwise, you have a very high chance of losing your account if your device breaks and you haven't backed it up. You can go ahead and issue a password, and you can save this password with your ID. But the thing about it is if you lose it, or if you accidentally issue a new one and you didn't save the picture, you can be in a little bit of trouble. Also, sometimes these passwords actually expire, so it's not a wise idea to use a password and ID for your account. I would strongly advise linking it with SNS, Twitter, or Facebook to make sure your account is safe. But with all that being said, I think we've pretty much touched up on most of the information that you guys need to know in order to get through the bare minimum of the game. So when you're first starting the game, I would suggest going through some of that main story, getting some rainbow gems, start doing a few more pulls, get some really powerful characters, and then you want to head over to the event island. The event island is where you're going to be spending a majority of your time in this game, and once you reach level 50, you can go ahead and start farming up some really powerful free-to-play Clash characters. And then obviously, if you want to level up your account, your pirate level a lot quicker, I would advise farming some of these turtles, because these turtles give you actually a lot of EXP, and especially if you've got like Rare Recruit Jack, like Legend Jack I mean, or Rare Recruit Neptune, which give you even more EXP, it does make it a lot easier for ranking up your account. So anyways, that's the bare minimum right now in terms of the beginner's guide to Treasure Cruise. I want to be uploading more of these in the future, and hopefully the very near future. So if there's anything like major that I should really be touching up on, definitely let me know in the comments section, and potentially like the most upvoted comment I'll like make is the next episode or something. And I don't want it to be too advanced. Like I'm still talking about like ultra beginner stuff. So if you see something in the comment section that you really like, leave a like on it so that I can see it, and then I'll make sure to get another episode in the near future about that other topic, or you know, maybe I'll do another poll or something. But either way, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, and make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.